Hi, I'm Steve Maddox. Today I want to talk to you about an exemplary servant leader of the 20th century, Dr. Billy Graham. William Franklin Billy Graham was born November the 7th, 1918. His parents raised him in the Associate Reformed Presbyterian Church. As a boy, he loved reading novels about boys, about outdoor adventures. As a teen, he was denied church youth membership as he was deemed too worldly. At 16, he attended a revival where he converted in 1934. He attended Bob Jones College, where he was encouraged to be a minister because he was told that he had a voice that pulled people. He transferred to Florida Bible Institute, where he received his calling to preach. Wanting more education, he then went to Wheaton College and there accepted his call to preach. He also met his wife while at Wheaton College. Graham went on to preach the gospel for 6 decades, and he became known as one of the 20th century's most influential and innovative leaders. He was a visionary servant leader, and he modeled the 5 practices of exemplary leaders. So, what are the 5 practices of exemplary leaders? Well, number 1 is modeling the way. Number 2, inspiring a shared vision. Number 3, challenging the process. Number 4, enabling others to act. And number 5, encouraging the heart. Graham modeled the way through leading by example. He walked the talk and he practiced what he preached. He modeled by serving, following the Bible, and presenting the gospel to others. Billy Graham is known to have preached the gospel to more people in the history of Christianity. He used technology. He used radio, television, and movies in an era when ministers were still referring to these as tools of the devil. He embraced many methods to spread the gospel, but his message never changed. And these are all examples of how he modeled the way. As an exemplary leader, Billy Graham inspired a shared vision. He helped others envision the possibilities of the gospel and the hope of heaven. He made the gospel vision inspiring to millions, and they accepted his message. Through this inspiration, Graham was selected as one of the most influential people a record 57 times. The second place person was Ronald Reagan at 31 times. Graham would insist, though, the inspiration is not of him, but the message that he preached, and that he was simply a tool of God's. U.S. presidents from Truman to Obama sought his counsel and inspiration. As he traveled the world, Graham observed and noted that the story of Christ satisfied a common need among the famous and successful, and also the lonely and obscure. People gravitated to Graham because of his humility. Billy Graham challenged the process by promoting the gospel in innovative ways. As a servant leader, Graham was committed to reaching and helping others. As a servant leader, Graham was committed to reaching and helping others. He challenged the process by using innovative methods to do this, such as using a variety of media outlets. He used radio, television, and print in ways never seen before, which set the standard for today. His estimated audience, including radio and television broadcasts, exceeds 2.2 billion people. His unconventional methods were considered risky to his reputation, but Graham considered these risks as necessary to expand the Gospels, so he challenged the process. Graham was an exemplary leader because he enabled others to act. He did this by fostering collaboration, setting cooperative goals, building trust, and sharing his power. Enabling others came easy for Graham because he was a humble leader. He was committed to the growth of people. He enabled others by team and community building. He understood there was a balance between leading and following, and he was able to find that balance. He shared his weaknesses with his team, and this enabled them to act. He had the ability to lift others to a higher standard. Because of his humility, he insisted on giving others praise, which enabled them to act. Graham was an exemplary leader because he encouraged the heart of others. He did this by recognizing contributions and showing appreciation. Christ's message of hope and eternal life that Graham delivered encouraged the heart of millions. He would share any credit to his ministry with others in big and small ways. He loved giving praise to others. This could be why he had the same ministry team for an entire lifetime. So, by the paradox of being a servant leader, he was able to lead and encourage the hearts of millions of people for several decades. So what was Billy Graham's leadership style? I've given several examples of how he demonstrated the servant leadership style. Servant leaders are concerned with others before themselves. Servant leaders focus on leadership by their behaviors. These behaviors include conceptualizing, emotional healing, putting others first, helping others to grow and succeed, behaving ethically, empowering others, and creating value for the community. Graham certainly exhibited these behaviors and other characteristics of servant leaders. All of these make Graham an exemplary servant leader. So what is Billy Graham's personality like? Well, the disc profile reveals that he is a high I, or influencer, and a strong S, or submissive, in his behaviors. His natural and adaptive styles are basically even because he is a genuine person. His three dominant strength finder characteristics are belief, communication, and empathy. Graham's personality profile is ESFP. He is an extrovert, a sensor, a feeler, and a perceiver. In conclusion, when you examine the life of Billy Graham, you will see a theme of love for others, humility, zest for life, and openness for innovation to spread the gospel. His behaviors are true to being a servant leader. No fault of scandal was ever found in his ministry. He gave credit of success to God and his team. And he was an exemplary leader because he modeled the way, he inspired a shared vision, he challenged the process, he enabled others to act, and he encouraged the heart through the message of hope he preached to millions of followers. Surely, Billy Graham was called of God to be a servant leader and messenger of Christ. Thank you.